Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back on my channel Trending Signal. This is Caterina from Italy. I just spent 30 days in India and now I'm ready to share with all of you my experience. But first of all, let's roll the intro. This is vlog number 1 of my Indian experience, and now let's start this storytelling about my journey to India. Before starting, I want to give you some general information. It took me almost 7 months for organizing this trip to India. For sure, it was not a last-minute trip. There are so many things to consider, so many aspects, and maybe I will speak about all these aspects in a future video if you're interested. I've decided to visit India just after the end of the raining season, so I arrived in India on the 21 of October and I came back to Italy 20 November, so 30 days in total. My flight actually landed in Delhi, but unfortunately I spent in Delhi just 1 day, and during this very short visit to Delhi I've decided to visit just one temple, of course, and the temple was Swaminarayan temple, and I have here this little guide. So this temple was my first Hindu temple that I've ever visited in my life. I've never been before into a Hindu temple. The impact was majestic. This temple is stunning, beautiful building, beautiful architecture. So if you haven't visited, I really recommend you to go. Unfortunately, inside this temple, photos were not allowed, but fortunately I have this little guide here so I can show you some images together with some Google images that I gathered. During my visit, I also watched a water show with lasers and lights and music, and the atmosphere was simply magic. So after my visit to Swaminarayan temple, it was time for me to say goodbye to Delhi. Actually, it was a very short visit, but Delhi city had a huge impact on me when I first arrived in India. I felt like I was a kid and it was my first time going out, because I felt like I don't know how to do things, I don't know how to move around the city. Luckily, I was not alone, but I felt so much scared and disorientated that time. I saw also for the first time like monkeys going freely around in the street. I assisted to crazy traffic in Delhi, like drivers, auto drivers, I don't know how they can drive in that conditions. I took also auto a couple of times that day for moving here and there from the temple to the railway station, where I took train, but this is another chapter. And so I felt like I was going to die every 3 minutes during that auto trip. Then after that experience, I get little by little used to auto and auto drivers and how they drive, but the first time it was really scary for me. So after the visit of Swaminarayan temple, I went to the train station for take my train and reach finally Bihar. In fact, the next country, the next state that I visited was Bihar. In fact, I took a night train for reaching Bihar. It was in the night of the 22 November, so it was 2 days before Diwali, and people were crazy because they wanted to reach their destinations, so the station was super crowded, the type of scene that I only saw in movies or I watched in some videos online. I was also the only foreigner at the train station that night, so everyone was staring at me with big eyes, like, what are you doing here? So it was really interesting as experience. So I jumped in this train. Luckily, I was not alone because otherwise it could be a problem. So I jumped in this train, and it was a night train. I have never taken a night train in my whole life. I had to say that it is not so bad because also I was able to actually sleep that night. I was fully tired after 24 hours for reaching India, so I was completely tired and I actually slept that night. It was not so much bad, actually, it was pretty comfortable as bed, and so I slept quietly full night, but the impact at the railway station was, wow, disorienting. That also so many people around, so much crowded, everyone was like pushing and pushing for just to be sure to have a place on that train. But after that, the train left the station. It was actually really quiet and I enjoyed my journey, my 10 hours journey for reaching Bihar. Yeah, because in India, distances are very, very big. So 10 hours from Delhi to Varanasi, because my stop was in Varanasi in Bihar. But this requires another chapter, another video, because I feel that I have to tell you more about Bihar. I want to talk broadly about Bihar. So for now, I think that we can stop here. Another episode that I want to tell you about regarding that night at railway station, it was that I didn't know, but in India, having ticket for train, it is very much complicated because you have to book this train ticket so many months in advance. So some people didn't have any confirmation for their ticket, and they tried to take the train even if they didn't have any ticket. At some point, I felt like some beating, some screams here and there yelled, so I didn't know what was going on. They were some meters away from me, but I was in my bed, so I could not really see what was going on a few meters away. I asked to Brajesh that was there with me what was going on there, and he said that police just arrived on the train and they were beating people with the stick for making sure that they could leave the train because they didn't have any ticket. I didn't know if I should like feel bad for that person or smiling because police like beating people with a stick, and they were like, I could feel the body and the stick sound on human body. It was very bad, and it only lasted a few seconds and then they went, I don't know where. Maybe they left the train or maybe they tried to enter from another door, but yeah, I've never seen anything like that. During that night train, as I said before, I was not alone because Brajesh, who is the editor also of this channel, was there with me, trying to help me in this India trip. And so he was with me all the time from airport to railway station. And then we will see how the story of my trip to India will continue. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, to follow my Instagram page, Caterina Vlog, And do not miss any other video vlog like this one, because the trip continues, and the next page of my story, it is about Bihar and Bihari trip. So I think that you don't want to miss that part, because it is really interesting. See you guys on the next video, and thank you for watching me. Bye. Also, if you have some questions, some curiosity that I didn't answer, so please leave a comment and I will reply as soon as possible. I want to know what you guys are more interested in to know, because of course there are so many things to say and I have to make a selection, otherwise I could speak for hours and never stopping. So please let me know what you want to know. If you have some topics that you are more interested in too, if you want to ask me some questions, leave a comment. Thank you.